All right, we back. We back at it, y'all. It's good, smooth family. Yeah, just give us a few seconds. Then we're gonna wait a little bit. Have some people come in. Hope everybody doing good. Things of that nature. If you're not doing good, hopefully, this makes your day better. One sec. I apologize.
Hope everyone doing good and hope that we're coming in loud and clear. I say we're gonna try to get back to doing this thing on regular scheduled program. Even though we have different things going on. Um, but even in our everyday lives. So
Yeah, everybody got something going on. We all got personal things, but we kick this thing off. It's good, smooth family. It's your boy Be Smooth. You can't be smooth, then you gotta move. In this smooth talk, I'm your host Brandon, aka Be Smooth. My other host, you know, Carl.
little
And some of
rascal.
y'all know him, but like y'all know, it's
Hi,
Papa
pal.
Smooth, which is my
Y'all
fault.
don't know, no, y'all don't know nothing about that. It's old school.
But yeah, so for today's episode, we're gonna be talking about it's okay to not know. Last week we talked about sacrificing. For this episode, we talking about it's okay to not know, and that can be that topic has some weight on it, just as much as sacrificing does, but this topic specifically has some weight on it. Because let's be honest, a lot of us, it's a lot of things that we don't know, if we be wanting to have things figured out in life. So when it comes to not knowing, what does that mean to you?
Um, Not knowing, it's so much in this world that you're not gonna know everything. Somebody gonna know this, somebody gonna know that, somebody gonna know how to do that. This. You're not gonna know everything. Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's in the books, and like some people think they know the whole Bible, they don't. They know everything about it, but you don't. Um, it just we're not gonna know. We're not. That's just facts. We're not gonna know everything,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Nothing.
there's nothing wrong with not knowing everything. You're not going to know everything. If you did, you be spending your whole life trying to know everything, and even then, you still won't know everything. But to me, not knowing, like you said, is you certain things that you won't know that somebody else may know, and even when it comes to that lack of information, it just depends on the situation. Now, the real definition of not knowing means lacking facts, information, awareness, or understanding about something. It describes a state of, excuse me, being uninformed or unaware. Just facts. Let's be honest, with a lot of us, especially growing up, we was always already afraid of not knowing where our life was going to end up. A lot of us still deal with that to this day. We don't know where our life may end up or what we gonna do tomorrow, how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that, things of that nature. It happens. So one of the questions that I have for everybody on here is why do we feel we need to have all the answers right now?
I don't know myself. That's a good question right there.
Yeah, it's a valid question. We need still feel like that at 32. It happens. Oh, it does happen. There's people older than all three of us, me, you, my dad, that still don't know. It's not that it's too late for them. Some people feel like you behind or it's too late, which we're gonna touch on that a bit too. But yeah, the question that I asked, I'll repeat it again for y'all. Why do we feel like we need to have all the answers right now? And me personally, I feel like the reason why we be feeling like we need to have all the answers now is that so we don't get caught off guard, so that we can be prepared, when things happen in our life, we know how to go about it, how to deal with it, how to possibly get around it or avoid it. And I'll let you know this now. You can't avoid everything. You're not going to know everything, and that's natural. That's life. It's a lot of things in this world that we will not know, and that's perfectly fine.
That's
It's-
why asking questions are very important sometimes
Mhm.
because you don't know. If I don't know, I ask questions. Now, just like my son younger than me, generation younger than me, I would ask him, man, what's this? What did that mean? How do you do this right here?
But
What makes that do that?
in this generation, even some of the older generation, we have to get comfortable with asking questions and putting your pride and your ego aside to ask questions. Because we don't want to ask nobody, hey, what's this or how you do that? Because nowadays people clown you for it. They make fun of you. Oh, you don't know this and that third. And it's like, bruh, not everybody grew up the same way you did, or they don't know the same things that you know. So don't be quick to like judge them or embarrass them.
That's
But-
how we
go
were.
ahead.
That's how we were raised. Our parents wasn't prepared, and they do the best they can do to prepare us. I'm 32, and man, I didn't see myself making it past 17.
Mm.
And that is true. I talked about it some this morning. Matter of fact, since you said that, Poetic Vibe, it's Poetic Vibes. I've talked a little bit about that this morning, even in Sunday school. I talked a little bit about that because our parents did the best that they knew. Just like if my kids have kids, they're gonna do the best that they do. As a grandparent, it'll be my job to spoil the mess out of them, send them back on home. Now just play. But it'll be my job to help them along the way too, along with trying to, with the best of my knowledge and me learning, even in the new generation that we're in now, me learning so I can keep up with the generations that's going on now. Because I tell you what, this technology stuff, even y'all seeing us like we are now. Too many, we wasn't really prepared for that. We really wasn't. My generation. But we did get some computers to come in when I was in the 9th grade. That's when we first had the first desktop.
Yeah. And it's like we all can learn from each other, even when it comes to this. A lot of y'all that don't know that's just not coming versus the ones that's been here since we started this. We originally started on the phones,
Phones.
which it's a lot of stuff that I still don't know about this. It's a lot of stuff I'm still
Yeah,
learning.
'cause I got it yesterday, y'all.
It's a lot of stuff that that we still learning, like when it comes to this. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like when I first started, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little scared. I was a little terrified because I didn't know where this was gonna go, and I genuinely didn't know. But at the end of the day, you gotta take a chance, and that's the thing. You're not gonna know if you never take a chance. You never know unless you take that chance. Unless you step, for those that are religious, you step out on faith. It's gonna be scary.
Yeah. She said so much has changed, but we are all still learning together at any age.
Yeah, it don't matter what age you at, because I've seen it time and time again. There's people in the older generation that feel like they know everything. There's people in our generation that feel like they know everything. Nobody
Yeah.
knows everything
Nobody.
but God. Now, unless you God, then by all means, if you know everything, you should be a billionaire or a trillionaire by now.
I need to read your book.
For real.
Please help me out.
Because you're not gonna have all the answers. Nobody does.
Nobody.
So, a question that I have for y'all is: what if not knowing isn't confusion, but part of discovering who you are? I'll repeat again. What if not knowing isn't confusion, but part of discovering who you are?
Hmm.
That's a loaded question, but it's true though. Because like growing up and just in life, you're gonna try to figure out who you are, and it may be a little confusing. And a lot of us, which I know he gonna cover, this topic, is trying to fit in. especially at a young age, even in our ages and stuff like that.
Even at my age, people try
Yeah.
to fit in. I'm 58. They try to still fit in. And a lot of them try to fit in with the younger crowd.
Mhm.
Instead of giving them and showing them the way, teaching them certain things, they trying to fit in and do what they do. Come on, man.
But it's like you have to be put in those positions to where you need to figure out who you are and have your own identity and how to try to figure out how to navigate life. But once again, you're not going to have all those answers, but that's a part of life. That's a part of the journey is learning and having those experiences. And it's character development. Like said, it isn't confusion. I'm learning about myself every day. See?
And you will always learn, especially about yourself. Sometimes you got to be by yourself to learn something about yourself. Sometimes now here's the hard part for some people. Sometimes to learn something about yourself, you got to be able to take the talk when somebody talk about you.
Yeah.
And when somebody tell the truth about you.
Mm-hmm.
Pride is a mother. Envy is a mother. Jealousy is a mother. And all that is something else. We get into our pride, we get into our egos, we get into the jealousy, we get into this envy. We are in a place, and honestly, you are in a very dangerous place because once you get to those places, you feel like can't nobody tell you nothing. You feel like you know everything, and honestly, you don't. I don't. I'm still learning at 58. At 58, and I'm gonna say it one more time. At 58, I'm still learning some stuff right now as we speak right now.
And like you said, there are some people that feel like you can't tell them anything because all they know is all they know is their way and how to move because they got comfortable. That's what they're familiar with. It's their nervous system, which a lot of people are afraid to have that rewired, which I understand it. It is a scary feeling.
Yeah.
But even with having uncomfortable conversations, a lot of people run from that and they're terrified because they're like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna take this, or I don't know how this person's gonna feel if I say this, and I don't know what the outcome may be. You have to take that chance because it can either make or break you, and it can because you'll never know. You just be sitting there wondering, dang, what if I actually did just take a chance to have that conversation with them? What if I did take a chance to go for that job or chase my dreams or whatever it is you want to do in life? But specifically when it comes to having those uncomfortable conversations, things of that nature, you have to get out your own way. You have to learn to get out your own way. And if you don't know, even when it comes to like a lot of people, especially in this generation, well, my generation, love to say, oh, communication is key. Yeah, communication is key and comprehension is key as well. But a lot of us don't know how to communicate. And a lot of us are afraid to say, hey, I genuinely don't know how to communicate. I don't know how to love. I don't know how to express my emotions. I don't know how to do this and that and third. It is okay to say that. It is perfectly fine. Now, if there's people that judge you and knock you for it, you don't need to be around them.
Mm-hmm. It's like when she'll be on today, nothing happened. Our friend Pastor James, he tell you right quick, I'm still learning. He's a pastor. I'm still learning. Not only with the word, but with life. Because he tell you the story when he was in prison. So when you come out of prison, you got to learn stuff that's out here that was different when you went in.
A lot can change in 1 year.
What they said, very true. A lot of older folks lost a lot of their childhood and try to fit into today's society. And the younger folks trying to be grown too fast. But we got to be able to be a sponge and learn. That's right. Soak that stuff up like a sponge and take it and use it and apply it to your life. Because everybody that's telling you something is not wrong. Sometimes we just don't like that type of truth, though.
Yeah.
Is to learn as much as we can and be kind to one another.
Yeah. I tell people straight up. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. But boy, it said those what ifs can eat you up if you let it. It definitely can. Yeah. I recently had an experience like that.
If you let it.
If you let it. And it's not easy to shake that feeling. So I don't want nobody to be like, oh, he's saying as if it's easy. No, it ain't easy. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and steer you in the wrong direction. Like it's not an easy feeling to shake off. It happens. We're human. You're gonna have those days where some days you can overcome it and beat it, and it doesn't affect you mentally. There's gonna be days where it does mess with you. That's how it is.
That's the best part of awareness and communication. Being open and honest about it gives way for us to do better.
Hmm. Now, a point I got to bring up is not knowing doesn't mean you're lost. Sometimes you're simply between where you were and where you're going, which is facts. You're not necessarily lost. You're just between where you were and where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't. Me myself, I've done it just as much as anybody else, where you start comparing where you were versus where you're going, and you be so stuck to where you don't want to get too comfortable, or like there's nothing really going on in your life, because we gotta learn how to sit with ourselves, be by ourselves, and be still, and actually take time to actually soak up and take heed of what's going on around us and embrace those quiet moments.
Mm-hmm.
Because coming from somebody that used to be out all the time, because a lot of y'all know I'm a dancer. So having performances back to back, doing this and that third, I was so used to that to where it would be times where I would be by myself or I'm not doing shows and this and third. So now I'm just sitting here like dang, what do I do now? And I didn't know. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was just like, bro, this don't feel right. I gotta do something. But then I had people, friends and family tell me, bro, you need to slow down and actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Enjoy the moments, enjoy the free time that you do have, embrace and enjoy, your family and your friends and the things that you've done, because you're not really enjoying the fruit. You just moving constantly. You're not really enjoying what, the things that you did accomplish. And then once I actually took heed of that and I sat back and I was like, dang, I really do need to embrace this and actually enjoy things I accomplished in life. Because if I keep going, then it's like a lot of people will tell you right now, they do so much, and then when they get to where they're going, when it comes to being successful and stuff like that, because everybody's definition of success is different. And so much time have went by, so by the time they look back, or when they get to their destination, they're not truly happy. And they're like, dang, where'd the time go? But you didn't take that time out to actually sit back.
And to go along with what you said a little bit earlier about sometimes we put pressure on ourselves to have all the answers. Sometimes we do that. We try and do that. But the truth of it, the truth of the matter is it's okay not to know everything, because you're not gonna know everything. Like when I get asked questions, sometimes I said, I will be honest with you, I don't know. Let me go find out and I get back with you. I'm not afraid to say I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. We have to get comfortable with.
I'm not just gonna give you an answer.
Yeah, we have to get comfortable with the what ifs, which I know that's hard to think about sometimes. A lot of people don't be want to think like in a negative sense, but that's not always in a negative way every time. But except when you get to that point when you're worried about where you were and where you're going, how do you stop that buildup of pressure? I don't sleep sometimes because it's heavy on my mind. As far as trying to like stop the buildup of the pressure, try to do something that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, that brings you peace, that will like slow you down and calm you down. Whether it's gaming, reading, doing artwork, whatever it is that you love to do that. Talk to whoever you close to, friends, family, if you're in a relationship or whatever, talk to them. Actually sit down, have a conversation with them. Just a simple conversation. How you doing? I ain't talked to you in a minute. And that's my fault for not talking, because I've just been doing whatever I've been doing. But you have to catch yourself. And sometimes it'd be hard. You be so caught up in it. But you have to like catch yourself, decompress.
Yeah. Now looking at where you were should motivate you to keep pushing to where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You at the age, like whatever age anybody is. I just use that example. I use me an example. I'm 58. Where I used to be is totally different at 58 than I was 38. It's totally different. It pushed me to be even more humble and more laid back and like Brandon said, decompressed from a lot of stuff. So I won't be worried about that.
Yeah.
Because that worry can push you into a whole nother state of mind too at the same time.
And coming from personal experience, you know, there was things back then that I was doing in my life, whether it was stressing over stupidity or whatever the situation was, and it was leading me to the hospital. And I had to catch myself, and I had, people in my corner that was like, bro, you gotta stop. Like, you have to. And then I came to that realization, like, I can't go back to that. Cause I don't want to go back to that position. Yeah, there'd be times where I might go back into it a little bit, even though I'm not trying to, but that's part of life. But I try to get myself out of that situation because that reminder be in the back of my head of, you want to go back? Do you want to go back? Because this is where you headed if you don't stop. So then that's what kind of helps. And plus, like I said, if you got a great support system, even if you don't, reach out to people. And we have to get comfortable with that. And I know a lot of people be so stuck on, well, I don't know if I'm bothering this person or, they might dismiss me and things of that nature. People that truly care about you and love you not going to dismiss you. They'll let you know, like, hey, right now it's not a good time. Let me get back to you in a couple hours and then we can have a conversation. That's all it takes. Genuine friends and family.
Now, writing poetry or gaming, use of podcast and life really gets in the way. Writing poetry is one of the great ways because you can write some stuff how you really feel, and before you know it, you'll be like, I didn't even know I didn't even realize I had all that in me to even put it on paper like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people game into the gaming because it relaxes the mind, just like writing poetry. It relaxes the mind. A lot of people podcast, doing a podcast. I can't tell you what to do. I can just maybe that's a good source of you getting back into doing the podcast because sometimes you meet and run into a lot of interesting people.
Yeah. And
now, like ours, even though we're not large like a whole lot of people are, and that's fine with us. Because one thing that we decided to not do is be messy.
You have to be okay with being different.
Yeah.
You're not gonna people feel like, oh, you gotta have all this equipment to start, a podcast or a business or this, that, and third. You really don't majority of the time. It will come the more you grow, doing it.
Yeah.
And so, you have to be okay with being different.
Yeah. So and that's one thing we decided not to do is be messy. Can we talk about certain stuff? Yeah, but we're not gonna be messy in there because we have open mic with our friend Neil. And we talk about different stuff on open mic, but we're not being messy with it because a lot of time being messy can
bring
really wrong attention and can really change your mindset about some stuff to where you start developing into that certain type of person of being messy, and then you don't know how to come out of it. And then when people start coming at you, then it's a problem then.
Because if we really want to, be messy, talk about a bunch of negative BS or whatever, we have way more views, but it's like we don't. That's another thing you gotta not worry about. Do it because you love doing it, because you value doing it. That's something you love to do. She said, very true. Now, pull that other comment up about the poetry and stuff. Scroll it real quick. Yeah, she said, writing poetry or gaming, use of podcasts, and life really gets in the way. What I would say to that, and I understand life does get in the way, the times where you find yourself having free time, as much as you may not want to do it, that's just like going to the gym. There'll be days you don't want to do it. But I would take those times where you do have free time, either write down topics that you may have or the ideas that you may have when it comes to doing a podcast, or you could just, just randomly one day just prop your phone up, go live, share it with the people that you know that's gonna come in and stuff like that. Tell them to share it, and you never know. You can kind of do it like that.
A lot of people that do podcasts, whether you know it or not, a lot of them that do podcasts, they do it from their phone.
Mm-hmm. I've done it, and you can use me as an example. I've done it before when I was in the hospital. I've done it a couple of times when I was in the hospital. Now I could have been asleep, resting, doing what I'd usually be doing when I go in the hospital. But at the same time, I had to tell myself, one, I got to get out this headspace of being in there, and two, it's needed. And plus, I love and enjoy doing this. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, I take my days off where I need to rest and all that because I ain't trying to overdo it. But like even stuff like that, you'll find the time to do it.
Now watch this. When he was already doing it, and then he invited me to come on. If you ever go back to those episodes when I first came on, I really wasn't saying that because I was in the stage of learning and getting used to it. But this is before we even had StreamYard and any other platforms that we use. And to this very day, a lot of people still don't know until what I'm getting ready to say now. I took my tablet and I took the computer and I turned it around and pulled the tablet up close to the computer that it looked like we were streaming to my page too, but we wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just had the tablet up close to the computer where you couldn't see the frame because we didn't have StreamYard. And StreamYard wasn't even really out then.
Yep.
So that's how I was streaming. That's how we were streaming. A lot of people didn't know that. And Brandy had another phone up on the stand. A lot of people, on the tripod. A lot of people didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Until right now. And that's how we got started. Well, he was already rolling. That's how we got really going.
If you look at when I first started, and then he started being on with me and stuff like that, you would see a huge difference. And all that came from not knowing, taking a chance and stepping out on faith and having a dream. Now it may not be as big as other people. That's fine. I ain't worried about it. We ain't worried about it. That's perfect.
But we don't have some amazing people come through.
Exactly. And y'all come through all the time, and we appreciate y'all. Y'all can be doing anything, but y'all take, time out to come here. And we invite y'all to be coming on and stuff like that. So we appreciate y'all because there will be no us without y'all.
And even still learning all this stuff here. That's why I watch other people that do podcasts. And I sit there and listen to them. I just learn from them.
Because even with, like Boyd was talking about when it comes to, because we'll get back on topic. I know we got a little sidetracked now. But when it comes to like the podcast or whatever it is you want to do, even if you have the feature on your phone to watch other people that do the things that you want to do, you can literally just have your headset on, play the video, lay your phone down, put it in your pocket, whatever you're gonna do, and just go do whatever it is you want to do. Hold on. Go ahead.
I agree. I've met some amazing people and heard so many stories and gained so much info from people. Talk about mental health and answer questions like these. That's right, mental health. Boy, mental health. That's a whole nother subject there. That's everybody deal with, like young Genesis said yesterday. Yeah, a friend of mine and I use StreamYard to post some stuff on YouTube. I really got to get back into it. I have ideas. I just got to put it into action.
You will.
And you didn't side.
No, you ain't sidetracking. You good. Like this stuff is needed because you never know who would possibly help. And it does tie into what we're talking about because like we said before, you never know. You never know. So
Because
you saying that you don't know who you could have possibly helped.
in this world, Brandon is 30.
Yeah.
I just joking, y'all.
Yeah, I ain't
Brandon
30
28.
yet. 28. I ain't 30 yet. I'm getting
Brandon 28. I threw the 30 in there because I'm 30 years older than he is. I'm 58. His generation is totally different than mine. Music, TV shows, everything, totally different. I'm 58. I remember when TV used to go off at 12 o'clock. Off. TV run 24/7 now. His generation, if you talk to some of them, don't even know nothing about that. He know about it because I shared it with him.
Mhm.
That's why it's important. So he would know about my past. And if he ever have kids any day, he could tell his story about his generation of growing up. Even to the point he can tell his kid, his granddaddy time different than mine. See, every generation we supposed to be learning. We supposed to now. Just saying we supposed to.
Now,
Supposed to.
now, this point, she said, right. Now, this point I'm going to bring up, which ties into what he was just talking about. You don't have to have your whole life figured out. Life changes and your goals, relationships, dreams, and priorities can change with it, which is true. And by the way, we appreciate everybody that's coming through. Make sure you like and subscribe. You know, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, make sure you like, hit that follow button, and share it with your friends. But yeah, like I said,
And
don't
if
have
it's your first time here,
we welcome you. We appreciate you coming through. And if you want to know what we're talking about for today's episode, we talk about it's okay to not know. But like I was saying, you're not gonna have your whole life, figured out. And life does change. Your goals, relationships, your dreams, priorities, all that can change. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if this is gonna work out, or I don't know if this relationship gonna last, or whatever it is. And that's perfectly fine to have those feelings and to sometimes think like that. But you gotta make sure you get out of that. Because one thing you don't want to do is get stuck. That's gonna lead you down a dark path that you do not want to be in. Boy, they said it right. Like being home before the street light come on. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that.
Boy, we got smart. We know how to keep that street light out until they picked up on what we was doing.
But like I was saying, like even when it comes to life changing and your dreams and stuff like that, people try to make fun of you, or they be like, "Well, what happened to this? I thought you was doing this. Now you gonna switch over to this?" And we act like it's a problem to change your goals and your dreams and have a shift in your life. Like for me, for example, y'all know I love dancing. That's my passion. Preferably, I can do it even when I'm old. But I know I'm not gonna be able to do that forever. That's the reality of it. Now I have the positive mindset to be like, I'm gonna still, be active and all that. God give me the strength to do it. But I don't only just dance. I do motivational speaking. I do this. I like the game and stuff like that. And even my dad, even though he's older than me, he's a gamer. But even with him, he likes to game.
Get busted up sometimes. I can't keep up with these young folk, boy.
But he does the game though. And
I'm telling him one time he was playing something. I said, if I'd have jumped on there the first 30 seconds, I've been out of there, man. I've been looking down at the button, trying to mess.
But yeah, it's just like I said before, I know I'm not gonna be able to dance. Correct? I know that. Not the way I do now, at least. But I accepted that at a young age, and I know that there's many things out here that I can do. Yeah, at first, my teenage and early 20s, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get older. I don't know. And that was okay to ask. And me and him, we have conversations all the time. Or I have conversations with, my friends and stuff like that, which I know a lot of y'all are in here right now. And we have those deep conversations. And mind you, not all of us are the same age because in our friend group, it's different ages, early 20s, mid, late, early 30s, some 40s, whatever. But you have to have those conversations. And even then, we learned a lot from each other. That's how you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And we all got different perspectives from one another. Like, well, you can't do this, but maybe you can do this though, and that can possibly help you with whatever it is you're trying to do. And that's how you grow. You'll never know unless you take that chance. You gotta have those conversations. It's okay with not knowing. It's perfectly fine.
Yep.
So, a question that I have for y'all is: are you actually lost, or are you simply in a season where the path hasn't revealed itself yet?
Commons where the path hadn't even revealed itself yet. And
Yeah.
then again, it could have, you just ain't picked up on it.
Mm-hmm. It could be right in front of you. You just ain't caught on to it yet. And don't feel like you're, well, some people, which I don't like to say it, but don't feel like you're dumb because you didn't catch on to it. It's perfectly fine. You get like a lot of us have so much going on that we ain't realizing what's happening in front of us right then and there. But you got some people that are genuinely lost out here, and you can tell. And for a lot of us, it's just you in a season where the path just hasn't revealed itself to you. You know, we all go through different seasons and trials and tribulations and things of that nature. It's life. You're gonna have different seasons. You're gonna
Yep.
come across people in different seasons. You got some that's meant to be here for a season. You got some that's meant to be here for a lifetime or for a very short period of time. And I know that when certain people do leave your life, it does hurt. Trust me, I know it will hurt. But you also got to look at it from a different perspective of, well, what did I learn from this? What did this teach me? You know, what is it that I need to see that I'm not realizing, and learn from that and go from there.
Yep.
Let me see. Poetic said, indeed. And then she said, I'm following the yellow brick road, just don't know where it's going. And that's okay. That's okay. Now, if you have some people that can tell you, you know, certain things or whatever that can help guide you, you know, listen to them versus people that don't know what they talking about. Because they're, excuse my language, but there's some people out here that don't know what the hell they talking about.
Mhm.
And it's true. I've seen it. And boy, you be looking at them like, man, what are you talking about? And they don't know. But the people that do know, that genuinely care about you and they want to see you, you know, on the right path, that want to see you make it, they'll guide you in the right direction. They will guide you. Poetic said they are either a blessing or a lesson. Yeah, sometimes people can be both. That much is true. That much is true. So,
Everybody, it's your first time tuning in. We welcome you all.
welcome
I
y'all
see some people in the chat
in
and
the
they
chat.
come in.
Yeah. So, for this question, why do we sometimes feel ashamed to say I don't know? Why do we feel ashamed?
So we act like we know everything.
Yeah.
Then when you get put in the position that the stuff that you really don't know, then you just, and you know, you try to give an answer to something that it could be totally wrong.
We be so embarrassed, you know, to say I don't know because we afraid of what people gonna think of us. We be so quick to judge ourselves immediately that you don't know how to take, you know, criticism the right way. 'Cause I've been in a room full of people that know way more than me, or I know more than them.
They're the rooms you want to be in.
Exactly.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
Those are the rooms that you want to be in.
Yeah,
That know more than you.
because you learn from it. You know, ain't nothing wrong with giving insight on certain things, but usually when I enter those rooms, I get quiet because I'm trying to figure everybody out, and also I'm just trying to learn. Now, if it's certain things that I know exactly what I'm talking about, then I'll, put my input in, and that's how conversations go. And then that's how you build relationships. And then you might network, and then this and third. Once again, it goes right back to you never know unless you take that chance.
There it is right there. Ego.
Yep.
Talked about it earlier. Ego.
Ego is another reason why people be afraid to say I don't know. That pride, that ego.
Tell you right quick out.
Mm-hmm. Or they possibly, because this is another thing that people don't talk about. They probably was taught that. They either was taught that or they had something happen in their life that pushed them to that, to that position to where they don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it happens whether you believe it or not. Not everybody's life is the same as yours. There's people that had parents or guardians or whatever that taught them, don't you open your mouth, don't you say nothing. Or if somebody, asks you something, don't you say you don't know. You better come up with an answer or something. Like, it's people like that in this world, whether you believe that or not.
Yeah, they have been taught.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that part for later. But I'd like to welcome each and every one of you all. Y'all see our good friend Miss Brenda just stepped in here. She's a model. I tell you, we know some people, y'all. And we're gonna start having larger group to come on and just talk about some stuff. But at this moment, let's take a little break.
Welcome back to the Smooth Talk Podcast. For those of y'all that's just not tuning in, I'm your host, Brandon, aka B Smooth. This is my co-host. Some of y'all know him as Carl. Some of y'all know him as Papa Smooth. And this is Smooth Talk. And for today's episode, we're talking about it's okay to not know.
Y'all don't know about that.
Yeah, we
riding
switched it up.
Riding back there, that big Lexus 225, kind of big boy like that right there. Y'all don't know about that deuce in a quarter. But I bet some of y'all guys that say, I bet y'all know about that. But anyway.
But to jump back into the episode and stuff like that, a point I have to bring up is not knowing gives you permission to explore. You can try something, learn from it, change your mind, and try again. It gives you permission and freedom to explore. It does, because you'll learn a lot about yourself. And it's okay to try again. I know a lot of us are afraid to start over, and we afraid like, what if this don't work out? Or, what if I got to start over? What if I just sent third?
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out.
And that's okay.
You're going to laugh at us.
It is okay, because it's like, what if you needed to start over? What if you wasn't prepared for, what's to come? What if starting over was, or whatever's going on in your life, was to shape you into the person that you need to be to prepare you for what's to come and what you got, that's coming up, that's about to happen in your life, that's about to change. You might not have been prepared for it right then and there, but you starting over or going back and making changes or whatever the situation may be could prepare you for it. And then once again, you never know. There's going to be somebody out here that can be in the exact same position as you. And at first, you might not have had the answer to give, to help them and guide them. But now you have that answer. But like, so this is what I did. I had to start over, or I had to go back and make changes. I had to go do this and do that. And it shaped me and molded me and build that character development to prepare me for this exact moment. See, I didn't think I had that much, wisdom and knowledge. I didn't think that. And that's okay. Once again,
I just sit back and just listen.
It's a lot that you can learn from one another, which is another reason why we started this. You get my insight from my age group, you get his insight, and if we have more people on here, whether you're the same age, younger, whatever, it's meant for that. Because we can learn a lot.
We ever notice we never say we know everything.
Yeah. We'll tell you in our we don't know.
Even when I'm talking about the Bible, I will tell you right quick, I'm not a scholar. I don't know. I'm just giving you my opinion or something that I have read and picked up my own self, or shared it, or somebody shared it with me.
And say, yes, you can. Yeah, you can definitely learn from one another. That's what it's all about. Put your pride and your ego aside and try to get out of that. I ain't gonna say get out of it, but try to get out of that mindset of I don't know. What if this don't work out or whatever? It's hard. It's
Yes,
hard.
it is hard.
And it's gonna be time and time after again. So don't think, you're just gonna go through that one time or maybe two times. It's gonna happen for the rest of your life where you're gonna be tested and there's gonna be things that's gonna test you on that. And you're gonna continuously go through it.
Just like Brenda said yesterday, you can't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Quitting is not an option.
It's too easy.
I can quit. I can quit right now. I'm going about my business.
It's too easy to give up.
If I was to let this intimidate me, I'll quit. But I don't let it intimidate me because of the few people that say, "Hey man, y'all coming on this weekend, y'all doing it." And then sometimes I would tell them, son in the hospital or something, "Oh man, don't worry about that. Then we just be around whenever you come back." So I look at the few people that like this conversation. Matter of fact, I had a guy that I work with, same age Brandon is. "Hey man, I didn't see you. I ain't seen y'all in a while. Y'all still doing?" I said, "Well, Brandon been sick." He said, "Oh man," he said, "Okay." He said, "But I'm praying for you and your son, and I hope to see y'all back on." See, it's just the little people like that. I don't speak eloquent. I'm from the country. I'm gonna talk country.
It's like
I ain't gonna always talk right.
proper.
I'm just letting you know. Now, can I talk right when I want to?
Exactly.
When it's needed for me to talk right, I'll talk.
Because like we said before, you never know who's watching you. You never know who looks up to you, and things of that nature. Because if he was to give up, I got a strong mindset. Yes, I can still keep pushing. I can motivate him to keep going, things of that nature. But let's say if I didn't have a strong mindset, or I was caught in the time period of my life to where I was just down low, and then I see him give up, or vice versa, then that'll lead me down the same path as him. So you never know. You can't give up. You just can't, because like you never know. You never know who's watching you. Yes, you may be inspired. They look up to you and they like, man, I want to be like you. And usually when I tell people, anybody that be like, I want to be like you and stuff like that, I tell them in a heartbeat, be better than me. Like you can do it, but be better than me. Don't be just like me. Like you're gonna be, it's one thing if you, inspired by us and things of that nature, you want to do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But also know to be yourself. Don't do exactly the same thing because we want your personality to shine. Because just as much as we have people come on here and promote their business stuff like that, we don't
even ask for a dime.
Yeah, we don't ask for nothing because everybody deserves,
Now I'm not saying that we would. I would say stuff like, if you wanted to make, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
because even when I do ask for it, sometimes it's to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Or it's to might buy some equipment, something like that. But I'm doing it like they don't even have the Cash App running. It's not always a personal gain. Now trust me, you want to bless me, I'm gonna tell you right quick. I will accept it. He will accept it. I will tell you that right quick. I'm not saying that because a lot of people would say that kind of stuff, but I guarantee you, when they get ready to go live or wherever they don't on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, I bet you they mess that monetization button to get paid. I bet you they do. Don't let these folks tell you, hey, I ain't getting paid for this. I guarantee you, they hit that button. It is a button that you can hit to monetize these video, these streams.
I'm gonna read these comments off and then we'll go into the question. Boy, they said, gotta appreciate the little things and keep progressing. Yeah,
that's right.
You have to. If you're not grateful for it, just as fast as you got it, it can be taken away just as fast.
just as fast. Brenda said, yes, so it's so true.
Now, this question right here that I got for y'all is: can you trust yourself even when you don't know what comes next?
Should.
You should. If you don't, you're going to have to go back and do some self reflecting and try to figure something out and have conversations with some people.
I put my trust in myself before I put my trust in a whole lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And
And people try to talk you out of some stuff.
yeah.
They would try to talk you out of some stuff.
And
If they don't know, they be like, well, if I don't know, you don't know.
yeah. And I want to say this. It kind of ties into this, but kind of doesn't. Therapy. You're going to have some people that don't know what they're talking about and will talk you out of not getting the help that you need.
Yeah.
Please get you some help if you
Get some
need it.
help. Go talk to somebody.
Yeah, go talk to somebody. Even when it comes to me dealing with sickle cell, I have to talk to somebody. Even when it comes to like certain medications and things of that nature, I ask questions because I don't know. And if I can see that you don't know, or even if you do know what you're talking about, I still go do the research because everybody is different. Everybody's body operates different and things of that nature. But yeah, but can you trust yourself though, even when you don't know what comes next? I can trust myself. It might be hard sometimes. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, "Oh yeah, it's easy." No, it ain't easy.
Never easy.
But I can trust myself because I know the support system I have. I know the mindset that I have, and I know that I'm capable of doing the things that I want to do. It might take a little time. It might not be just as fast as anybody else, but I don't try to worry about that. Your journey is your journey for a reason. My journey is my journey. It's not gonna happen at the same time. As much as you may want it to, it's not like that. Plus, you don't know what this person may have done to get themselves in that position. They might have did some grimy stuff, or maybe not. You never know. You genuinely never know.
Mm-mm.
But can you be confident without knowing exactly where your life is going? I feel like you can.
Man, people do that all the time.
I feel like you can be confident without knowing, exactly where your life is going. I genuinely feel like you can, because your demeanor will be different. I've seen people that don't even know where their next meal is going to come from. Now they might be going through a rough time, but they probably got a smile on their face and they just confident, like, hey, I don't know, I'll figure it out though. And they go out here and do it. So I genuinely feel like you can be confident without knowing, exactly where your life is going. Plus, I'm gonna keep saying it. I know I keep repeating it, and I know y'all probably getting tired of it, but I'm gonna just keep saying it. You never know. You never know who's watching and what that could possibly do. You don't.
Nope.
What's that?
You never know.
Boy, they said it depends on the situation, because there were times I second guessed myself on some things, but you definitely gotta believe in your abilities and keep it pushing. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and act like there's not gonna be times where you're gonna second guess yourself. It happens. We're human. That's perfectly fine. As long as you don't stay in that position though.
Yeah. It's like looking at some of the stars sometimes, as we call them. Like Denzel. Denzel been in a lot of movies. But you really didn't know about Denzel till he was 37.
In his late 30s.
Something like that. Yeah. That's when you really start seeing him being a major movie. Then he blew up from there. But when you look at a lot of movies from him, you didn't even recognize who he was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like Training Day was one of his biggest ones. One of his biggest ones. Training Day. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That's one of his biggest. Equalizer. The Book of Eli. But how many remember when he was in the movie Philadelphia?
Yep.
Man on Fire. How many remember that? Matter of fact, let me go back to the older ones. when he was in the movie Ricochet
Hmm.
with John Lithgow. I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm. We can go on and on about that, but Poetic said fear used to control me, but raising above it took courage. Yeah, it takes courage. That fear will settle in sometimes. It will mess with you, and it'll sometimes come at you at the darkest times. And there's moments, and I know a lot of people can relate to this. There's moments where you just be chilling. You could be doing perfectly fine. Everything just hit you at one time. And it is a terrible feeling.
Yep.
If you need to break down and cry, let that out. If you need to talk to somebody, if you're religious, pray or do whatever it is you need to do, but try not to be stuck in that. We so used to being by ourselves and having to deal with it by ourselves and be like, don't nobody care, or I don't want to bother nobody with what I got going on. But it's like you got people out here that genuinely care about you and love you. You'll never know unless you reach out. And you have some people that tell you, be like, bro, I ain't know what was gonna happen. But I'm glad you reached out, or I'm glad I reached out to you. Because some people will tell you straight up, I was about to do something dumb, do something crazy. But a topic I read this real quick. Poetic said, I get what you're saying. Can't sit in doubt or defeat too long. Gotta keep moving. Yeah. But make sure you deal with it though. One, because I want to touch on that a little bit. Make sure you deal with it. Don't just sweep it under the rug. A lot of us are guilty of doing that, even myself. But one thing you don't want to do is just sweep it under the rug, because what's gonna happen is life gonna go on. You're gonna be doing whatever it is you need to do in life. And it's gonna come a moment where all that is gonna pile up and you're gonna mess around and crash out and say something you don't mean to somebody, or do something that you're gonna regret and you can't take that back. So just make sure you deal with that in a healthy way and stuff like that. And if you generally don't know how to deal with it in a healthy way, ask.
What if Michael Jordan would have doubted himself when he got cut from the team?
Yep.
Coach cut him. How you think that coach feel today?
Yeah.
If he still living?
And even, which I continue to use myself as an example because I lived through this and I can share this with y'all. But even with me, having sickle cell, imagine you being 6 years old, being told that you ain't gonna live to see 20. Then when you reach 20, oh, you ain't gonna live to see, 24, 25. I'm 28 now. My life is not in your hands. If I would have doubted that and listened to that, I most likely would not be here. We would not be having this conversation.
Matter of fact, it was a woman that lived to be in her 80s, late 80s. And it's a guy, man,
in his hundreds.
100, sickle cell.
Yeah. So it's like,
Now, don't get it twisted now. He got to take care of himself.
Yeah. Like, you got to take care of yourself. But if I would have doubted myself, and don't get me wrong, there could be times where it might creep in a little bit. But like, I knew that it was something great in me just as much as there's something great in every single one of you. If I would have listened to that, I would not be the dancer, motivational speaker. Everything that I do in my life and all the things I accomplished would not have happened if I would have sat there and listened to them and be like, well, that's it. Oh, well, GG. I'm going to just do nothing and, oh, well, it is what it is. Brenda said, yes, don't listen to negative people. Yeah, and mind you, this is coming from doctors. You telling a kid this.
Yep.
Not thinking what that'll do to that child. But thankfully, I got a loving father and mother that looked at me and told me, you're not going to be like that. You're going to live. You're going to do what you want to do. Look where we at. But I want to bring up this last point real quick. Is changing your mind isn't always failure. Sometimes new information simply gives you a better understanding of what you want. I'm gonna repeat that again. Changing your mind isn't always failure. Sometimes new information simply gives you a better understanding of what you want. hmm It's not always failure to change your mind. You need that new information. It can guide
Always.
you. It can guide you.
You need to do new stuff. You need new stuff to enter into your life. You need all this stuff. Every bit of it.
You need to have a better understanding.
That helps you in life too. Just saying.
It does. She said, "Speak." What's one above that one? Brandon said, "They are negative." Also, God got the last word exactly.
Yep.
He does have the last word. But we genuinely appreciate every single one of y'all. We really do, because like we said before, you could have been doing anything, but you came here with us. Spent time out your day to join us as we do this, and we're very thankful. And what you got coming up, man?
I'll be on at 6:00. Our good friend James Everett, Pastor James Everett. He's James Jr. on Facebook, but he'll be back, and we're gonna continue on. We was talking about you're not meant to fit in. We was talking about that last week. We're gonna continue on with the other part, the cost of fitting in. It is a cost when you try to fit in. So we'll be back at 6:00. Like Brother Man said on Martin, go get your sandwich. Get you some sandwiches and whatever, something to drink. Come on back. We appreciate each and every one of you all. And yeah, just come on back at 6. It's gonna be interesting because we had some people, a little bit of people on last week when they were asking about when we're gonna do the other part. So hope the same people come back today and let's talk about it a little bit. It is a cost. It's a price you're gonna have to pay. Now, you think I'm lying? You'll find out.
As far as what I got coming up, August 30th, the Hollaback Fashion Show. Your boy is performing there. Man, I'm excited because I know some of y'all, when I did go live on here
I'm taking that blow
yesterday,
go ahead.
You wasn't able to hear. I was on TikTok live, and I know everybody don't got Facebook and everybody don't got TikTok, but I had to end the live just because y'all couldn't hear them, and it would have been a lot of technical difficulties and all that, so that's why I had to end it. But we was promoting it, and we did like a meet and greet yesterday, so that's what I was doing when I came on. But the Hollaback Fashion Show, August 30th, 6 p.m. Get your tickets. We are all pretty much almost sold out. I can't say how many tickets there is left. Plus, I don't know. But see how that tied in. But yeah, if you want to get your tickets and stuff like that, you got to hit me up, or I'll post it again and put the link and all that so you can get your tickets. I will be performing there. If there's some people that come out, show everybody some love and support. I'm truly grateful and honored to be a part of this, because it's for a great cause and stuff like that. And you never know. You never know this one can take you. And from what they were saying yesterday on the live, man, it's gonna be some serious people out there. So I'm very excited to be a part of this. I'm excited for what's to come. Poetic said, "Got to speak life into each other for real." We do. She also said, "I agree with that." Brendan said, Poetic said, "I enjoyed this. I definitely needed this." See?
Come on in with us next time.
Yeah. Come
in and have a seat.
Make sure you tune in on his. Brenda said, "I know we don't have that many." See?
Yeah. Don't have a many. It's QR code right there.
Yeah.
Just blow it up, scan that. It'll give you all the information. And if you're gonna buy 2 tickets, because I asked a question because I didn't know. So I asked a question myself. I asked Brenda, how can I do that? She said, put $50 in if you buy them for 2 tickets, $25 a piece. And I did put the $50 in there. That way they'll know you were buying 2 tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Seating is
It's
seating's about gone.
Yeah,
They're about gone now.
So
I'm trying to tell you,
look,
this thing is gonna be. I wish we could have recorded it yesterday, but this thing is gonna be big.
I haven't recorded. I had to go back and like make it in a clip so I can post it over here.
You gotta record it.
Yes, on TikTok Live they record everything.
Oh, we need that so I could
Yeah,
so we can play that because that's where we'll be at next Sunday. Nothing happened.
Yeah,
Next Sunday, that's where we'll be at. Next Sunday, August 30th. All my Anson County folks and surrounding county, you nearby, get your tickets. Come on out.
Mm-hmm.
My son gonna be performing. They're gonna have a lot of great lineup guests.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be right down at the Holler Center, right there on the main street.
Now, I will say
Or Morven.
the VIP tickets are gone.
Yeah, they gone.
They gone. Now, if you get your tickets now, I can't guarantee that you may get a seat. So don't hold me to that. You may be standing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know where you may be. You may be sitting down, you may be standing up. So I'm letting you know off the rip so you don't be thrown off.
And you can't bust up in there trying to just sit down. So if you didn't pay for the ticket, just sit down. That's on you.
Yeah. Brenda said, yes, put it out there. Yeah. So we had to let that be known. But as far as like outside of, perform the Hollaback Fashion Show and stuff like that, it's a lot that we working on and that I'm cooking up. Yeah, see, your boy gonna be performing. I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, I am getting into voice acting. For those that don't know, I am getting into voice acting because I will be a part of this anime. Shout out to my brother Sura and stuff like that. I'm gonna be part of his anime. It's called Vendetta. Some of y'all may know it, some of y'all may not know it. And also, I'm working on my own personal anime that I'm trying to create. I'm having a hard time with this. Let me be honest with you. I don't know a lot about creating an anime. I watch it a lot, but I don't know a lot about it. So I may need some help with this. And yeah, but the anime is gonna be based on sickle cell. It's gonna be a sickle cell based anime. Obviously, I'm gonna be a main character. So I'm gonna be playing as myself on there. I might have him in there voice acting and stuff like that. You just not finding that.
Change up the whole thing.
But
and I'm gonna get my brother Lee to come on. He said he gonna shut all this stuff down.
Man,
so
we gonna get
you like matter of fact, we're talking that nut today.
We're gonna mess around and get canceled. But it's a lot that we're working on behind the scenes and stuff like that. As far as health, I've been doing pretty good with my health, and I haven't been in the hospital for about a month now. Yeah, that that's me right there. I was in there in the room labbing and all that. That's just a little bit of what I can do. But I got a lot coming up.
Y'all
can't show you too much. can't show too much. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all. It's okay to not know things when it comes to this, this life. It's okay to not know. But as long as you try to figure out and whatever dreams and goals that you have, take a chance. Step out on faith if you're religious. Step out on faith, reach out to people, ask questions. Don't be too afraid to say you don't know or ask questions. And like I said before, just take a chance, because you never know. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Come back at 6. Okay, he going live.
Yeah.
But stay focused, stay positive, smile, and as always, be smooth with it.